Hi guys, welcome back to the Raw Light Podcast. My name is Danielle Baker and thank you for being here today. I've been really surprised about how many of you new beautiful humans have started following me. If you haven't followed me here before or you're new to my podcast, thank you for coming and thank you for being here. Like, I'm actually so blown away by you guys and your incredible showing up for me and my work. It's amazing. So today I thought I would go into some massive realizations that I feel would be of service to others. And I feel like you guys, I'm going to give you some really big life lessons in this podcast. This one today is going to be all about life lessons, and also it's going to be massively, like I'm talking massively, about why we are here on earth and why it's so important to connect into our soul for first and foremost. So in our body through our solar plexus. So if you don't know where your solar plexus is, pause this quickly and Google it. But it's basically where your rib cage is, underneath your rib cage. So I would say it's directly down from where your breastbone is, where your rib cage basically starts. So where your rib cage ends. That is where your solar plexus are. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important to connect with this space and place in a moment. Then you have, so basically after that, you have your purpose would be to connect in with your solar plexus, which sit underneath your rib cage. And the purpose of connecting specifically here is to connect back to source, and then to your soul. The more you work with your solar plexus, the more you connect back to your soul. So I just want to tell you guys what I've really realized recently, and this is why I've taken a huge step back from Reiki. It doesn't feel authentic to me because the teachings that I teach don't really align with the teaching that their lineage teaches. I have my own lineage and my own truth and my own way of healing, and that is the way that I'm going to be doing it, is going down that path. So I actually have decided not to go down the Reiki path. I have enjoyed learning about the lineage through it. I enjoyed getting my master's, so I am a master's teacher in it. But I find that I'm my own master in my own energy. And it was really interesting. I was on the phone to my mentor, who is my Reiki mentor, not my other mentor. I have two. My Reiki mentor, and I said to him, it just doesn't align with me, and I just don't think I can do it. And he said, fantastic. He said, you trust your energy enough to know the healing that your energy brings to the world. You don't need to go down the lineage path because you have your own lineage. So I thought that was really unique to hear. And I put so much pressure on myself as well. Had so much pressure on myself to be this incredible person. You know what? The reason why I actually went and got my Reiki, it was a bit of a it was kind of like I didn't trust myself and my energy at the time. And I decided that I needed to go get my Reiki master so that people would take me seriously, that it was the missing link in my world and it was the missing thing that I needed to do. Maybe if I got my Reiki masters, people would understand that it doesn't matter how I do my energy stuff, that I could just use it as a like a label. And then I realized I didn't need the label because I started to understand my energy. It's taken me a really long time to go through that initiation of understanding my energy. Now, for a lot of you who listen, you might go, well, I don't actually understand this. Can you please go full layman's terms for me to understand what the fuck you're talking about? So if you've never heard of Reiki and Reiki lineages, they're basically lineages that have been created. Some have been created in Japan, some have been created in different other places. And basically it was a bunch of monks or masters that went into the hills and they got these symbols that they use that would help access energy, Reiki energy, to people quicker. And so they started to teach people this lineage, and it's quite strict and it's quite like they have their own way of doing it. Now, I think it's a beautiful thing to do if you really don't know yourself and if you're an energy healer or you're someone who doesn't really know themselves and you're wanting to find yourself deeper, going down the path of Reiki is a great way to do that. But also, I'm going to create something, and the people that I work with, if you're a healer that's listening to this, or a psychic, or somebody who's listening to this and has a gift, my greatest advice to you, or even if you are just a normal person, human being that is very switched on and can feel that they're going through changes, the greatest thing that I would suggest to you is working with myself. And the reason being is I help you connect back to your inner solar plexus. So connecting back to your inner energy, your inner spirit, so that you can connect directly back to source. We want to connect straight back to source, okay? There's no in between stuff. You want to learn how to gently open yourself back up to your soul, who doesn't reside in your body. Your spirit was put inside your body with a certain percentage of you to excel at something here on earth. To unlock that completely, you need to be able to, like I said, your soul was put back here on earth, your spirit, sorry, put back a certain part of you here on earth inside your body. The aim of the game is to connect back to your soul through your spirit inside your body and elevate your purpose. Elevate and find your purpose and serve. You want to serve humanity in the way that you know what's best. The reason why you want to serve humanity, and this is going to get very, very interesting for people who enjoy this stuff. You want to serve humanity so that you can bring more of your soul down, so that you can bring more of your energy down. You can implement that in your body and be more grounded within your body. Now, some people will only bring a certain amount down and that's enough. Other people need to bring more. Myself, I need to bring a lot more. And I connect to it quite frequently, and some days I don't if I don't do certain solar plex like connectivities with my energy. The reason why we want to do this is because we can lose ourselves in the I and the self mentality, putting self first, being selfish and not serving. We want to serve humanity. We don't want to be selfish to humanity. This is really, really important, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay? If you are going to continue being selfish in humanity, okay? And when I mean selfish, I mean if you know you're here and everybody is here for a purpose, everybody has something that they're learning, something that they're good at, okay? If you're wanting to elevate yourself in your business and you know what that is, so you can serve others and you can also serve yourself, you build more of a connection to your soul, which means that you will not filter or try and grab anything external to fill your void in your life, to fill a wanting in your life, is what I'm going to say, a feeling like you have lack of. You want to learn how to connect to the things around you. For example, okay, so when I'm going to break this down a little bit more. For you guys going, oh my God, I just don't even, you're just, the concept of this is crazy. So let me break it down a little bit more. You want to be grateful for your everyday life and things. That is what true abundance is. Having a cup of tea with your husband, having 5 minutes to yourself as a mum, being grateful for your children, being grateful for your house, being grateful for opportunities. The smallest things helps you become more abundant, yeah? When you feel that way, you are basically building up more energy to connecting to your higher true self. So then when you start to connect to your higher true self, okay, your soul that's outside of here and outside of your body, which is a lot for people to comprehend, is when you start to connect back there, you start to amplify your life, you start to amplify your body, you start to amplify who you are. When we get so confused in life, because a lot of people are walking around and wandering around working in mindless jobs that don't mean anything, and they have a gift on the side that they're too afraid to use. This is what I'll say to you. Learn how to connect back to your solar plexus. Working with myself, I can help you do that. Slowly learning how to open and activate yourself to your higher purpose is huge. And that's what we're doing here. We are connecting you back to your higher purpose, to your higher self, so that you are going inwards to find the answers inside your body and listening to that pathway. And along the way, yes, healing comes up to be had. Your spirit or your soul might go, okay, we need to heal this part so we can connect deeper with you. We've got these layers that we need to pull back, so let's connect deeper. We have these deep, like little things that you need to work on, but they are deep inside you. That childhood trauma that's holding you back, we need to fix that. That, that person that spoke to you in high school really rude has actually affected you and caused you problems with other girls or other women or yourself. And this is where we're going with this, is if you stay with me, I'll keep going with it. It's really important to know that service is the highest form in this lifetime. Service is the highest form. Whether you are being a service to your children, to your husband, to your business, to other people, how are you serving in this world? Think about it. How have you served in this world? If you are in your 20s, or if you're in your 30s, or if you're in your 40s listening to this, how have you served yourself? How have you done service to others? Are you creating service to others? If you're like me and really starting to hone in on my business and hone in on what I'm wanting to create with my business, how can I serve you, the people, the beautiful people who follow me and listen to me? How can I feel and get you to feel nurtured and loved while listening to this? And this is what I'll say. If you're going through stages and you're really struggling at the moment, it's most likely you need to connect back to this part of your body. Solar plexus is one of the strongest part of your body. The stronger you connect with it, the stronger communication you'll have with the soul, and less power your brain, your ego will have over you. That fear state, that fear mentality leaves. It goes. It's gone. But it'll come back sometimes. It'll make sure that you can work through. So for example, I'm obviously starting my business, and I've jumped through lots of different things. I've, had been scared of going to a psychic event and I had myself there a couple of years ago, and I was really afraid to go there and do it on my own. I did it. I made like over $2,000 for that weekend. I think it was like $1.5 grand. And you know what? I showed up, showed the universe that I wanted to do it. And yes, my ego and mind said, are you sure you want to be seen like this? Are you sure that you want to be? Your ego, think about it as karma from your last life or your last incarnation here on earth. If you feel you have reincarnated here on earth again, your karma comes back as your body, your mind, things that need to be worked on to be healed. For you to work through that karma is really potent and important, so you can be at your full service. Service is where it's at, guys. Service is where we need to go. If you disconnect, I'm going to tell you this, and I know a lot of people probably will freak out about this, but there's facts on this, and it's very true. And I was speaking to my friend who actually channeled this and spoke to me about this. And he said, if you have a chance, please explain this to people. And I said, okay, I will. So I'm going to share it with you, my listeners. If you disconnect from your body so much that you are serving yourself, so selfish needs, sorry. So if you are constantly chasing money, constantly chasing drugs, constantly chasing booze, constantly chasing external forces and external things, constantly chasing the societal ways of living, there's going to come a point in time, if you keep doing this, you basically, your spirit leaves. You basically have no spirit left. Your soul disconnects from you completely. And that gives opportunities for other beings to then reside in other people, in humanity. And I know for a lot of people listening to this, you might be like, what the fuck? That is actually insane. I don't believe that. That's bullshit. That's hard for me to listen to. I can tell you now that is the full accurate truth about it. I've seen it, and I can tell you now there's ways of coming back from it. But what you want to focus on in this life and in this world is service and making that service count. Because the closer you go to this, now, I don't want to freak people out, and I don't want people like, oh my God, if I don't do service, then I'm gonna die, or somebody's gonna take over my body, and that's it. I'm gonna end up in this trapped vortex of something. That's not how this works, okay? All right, that's not how it works. I'm talking like, for example, I'm going to use this as an example. Elon Musk, he is a very smart man, but he has lost his way and is not from operating from his authentic soul. And a lot of healers, a lot of coaches, a lot of so-called light workers and spiritual people don't actually work from a soul source level. They work from a dimensional level. Dimensional level is just the dimensions in this world that we live in and construct. A lot of people are not going to understand that, so that's fine. But let me dull it down for you for a second. Think about, you have 12 rows, okay? Think about the 12 rows. We are in the first row, okay? The 3D row. Then you want to think about, you got the 5D, the 6D, the 7th D, they're all higher, okay? In this construct, this world that we have built here on Earth, we are living inside a construct that has dimensions. Somebody built this construct for us to live in it. And the dimensions have certain levels that people can connect through. 7 connects straight to source, okay? Straight up to 12. Beyond that, so for myself, I connect beyond this construct. That is where your soul resides. Connecting straight back to source, though, for us in this life, is basically connecting back to your soul. Sorry, not basically. You are connecting back to your soul. You go to source, you connect back to self. And this is really important, because this is the missing piece that a lot of healers, a lot of coaches, a lot of teachers do not do. They become teachers, but they do not connect back to their higher purpose, their higher soul. So they're acting from a very trauma, human-based teaching, a very linear teaching on humans, okay? We want to work with people who are connected internally and switched on internally. How you can tell is because they will put their service first. They will talk about their service first. They will not talk about money. The money comes with it. And it is important to focus on money, but service is at the highest rate that what we should be doing, okay? So, if you're feeling a little bit confused and you're like, holy fuck, this podcast has just gone absolutely crazy, you're probably right. Because a lot of the stuff I'm talking about, people do not have knowledge of. People do not understand. And I know a lot of you that listen to me are either mums, some of you are quite spiritual, some of you are open, some of you are conscious, others might not have ever heard of any of this stuff. So you might be trying to find something that can make you feel like your missing piece is there. All I can say is, I will take you back to connecting with yourself. It is not a scary process. It is a very safe and nurturing process. It is a very loving and gentle process. It's not, the big stuff that I just spoke to you about is only half of it. The rest of it is the gentle process that we go through, the weekly connection that we go through, the weekly chats that we go through and it's not always spiritual stuff, guys. I have a client at the moment who I've been helping through in postpartum and helping her navigate stuff with her partner and help her figure out what she wants for her life and her future and those types of things. And it's been freaking incredible. She's come back and said, holy shit, you've given me these navigations, these tools to look at, and very honest tools to look at for me to be like, wow, okay, I am playing out this part, or I am doing this. That is the physical part that comes with it, yeah? Told you the spiritual part, now we're going into the physical part. The physical part is when you start to see what you've been putting that hard work in on the spiritual level, connecting in with yourself, is going to come out on your levels. I've had women speak to me about connecting with their partners and also how to talk to their partners, how to navigate through work and business, how to navigate through family situations, I've had a client that connected with me. She's never ever learned any spiritual stuff before. And by the end of our 3 months together, she was so activated, she could feel tingling all through her body, and her whole body was switched on, and she felt like she had so much energy. She could feel her own energy. And that is the place where you want to get. You want to be able, women are put here to be energetic, creative beings, yeah? Okay, in whatever form that looks like to you, whatever form that looks like to you, okay? And that's when things really need to get, important, is whatever this looks like to you is really important. So I've just given you the rundown on everything, and I've given you the rundown on why it's so important and the spiritual factor. Now, on the human factor, we are so deeply connected on the grounded level with Mother Earth that our body and cells hold the same cells as her. That's just facts. You can Google that. You can look that up. That is actually facts. So when we serve other human beings and we do the service out of our good, out of the good for us, then we are creating a huge healing ripple effect on the earth. So this is why it's so important to be able to step into yourself and start healing others. And you know what? You could be sewing at home and you could be selling beautiful clothes. You could be an avocado. This is my favorite one. My favorite analogy that I always tell people is, there's a guy that used to go to stalls and he was an avocado salesman. Now, he loved avocados. He had avocado trees. He had like an avocado business, and he used to sell them in front of supermarkets, okay? Or wild food, big food chains is what I will say. He ended up being so passionate about avocados, every time people would talk to him, he would elevate why he loves avocados and why they're so good for your body and why he's so passionate about it. People pick up on that passion. People like that passion. People feel safe and nurtured with that passion. So instead of going into the big shopping chains, they went to him. And then he started, because he was serving and just living his best life, he was creating abundance for himself. So he was getting back like over $500 to $600 a day, because he was selling so many avocados. So all I want to say to you is, whatever business you're in, whatever service you're in, even if you are in the job that you love, how can you serve more in that job? Okay? If you're a police officer, how can you serve more in that job? And if you know that you can do more. As a barista, can you make somebody's day better? Can you be a bit more smiley? Can you be a bit more caring? Can you be a bit more charismatic? What can you do to serve? Service is at the highest list. Serve, serve, serve is all I'm going to say. And there's a lot of people who don't know how to serve, or they're scared or confused to be seen in that service because it's so wildly different. Look at what I just told you. Look at what I just told you in the first, 15 minutes? Okay? The first 15 minutes. Basically told you things that most people would not tell you or do not want to tell you, because it's hard to understand, and you don't need to understand it all, but I'm giving you a background on where all this information is coming from, where all these facts are coming from. Facts is knowledge, okay? It's just purity of it, and there's real facts out there, but the big people that you follow in spirituality and coaching, or even celebrities, be very careful who you follow in celebrities. And at the end of the day, by the way, at the end of the day, my opinion means fuck all. It does. It means fuck all. My opinion means fuck all. Your opinion means fuck all. The government's opinion means fuck all. What is important is that you know yourself well enough that even if someone told you their opinion, like I did just then, you might go, that's not how I feel. That's not my belief. Fantastic. Fantastic. You've just stuck for yourself and just said, hey, right, this isn't my belief. Or, okay, that's your opinion. That's fine. Or if you have family or friends that come to you and you've started a new business or you're doing something or you're wanting to serve more and they're just like, oh, that's not going to make money. Why would you do that? And you go, okay, that's your opinion. We've done that recently, my husband and myself, with certain things. We've had to go, okay, that's their opinion. It's not our opinion. We're happy with that. Doesn't make what they're saying wrong. It just means it has no service for you. Does that make sense? So I'm going to leave you with that because I feel like that's a lot of information to kind of like digest. I do recommend listening to this twice over and really just like sitting and listening into the information because there's a lot of information in this podcast today. And I really hope that you guys can see that and feel that as well through my energy. And I want you guys to know that like I talk really passionate, but I am very gentle about the way I go about things. But I'm also very direct. And that is who I am. The passionate part is who I am. So it might come across to you in a way of you feeling like, oh man, that just feels like it's just too pushy or something like that. It's more or less direct. I'm a very direct person. I'm a very direct healer, and I'm not here to mess around. I'm not here to fuck with people. I'm here to help people. I'm here to serve people. And this is one of the ways that I love serving is talking to you guys. So I'll see you guys next week. I do have a couple of people lined up for podcasts. I think it's either next week or the week after, which is super exciting. It's Jess, who is a psychic medium. Man, they're so fun to talk to. I can't fucking wait to chat to her. So I can't wait to bring that to you guys as well. You guys will really love that, I feel. So yeah, have an amazing week and I'll speak to you guys next week. And if you do have any questions or if you have this podcast and you're like, holy fuck, I don't know what to do with this information, send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Send me a little DM and we can have a little chat. All good. There's no stress ever. So love you guys and thanks for being here and have a wonderful day.